could be different things. But one thing is certain about life is that every thought, feeling, and action that we take cannot be taken back. So we're always adding to our lives. We're not actually able to subtract something from it. We can try and change the meaning of something that happened before, or we can try and understand something, but we can't change it. We can't take it away. We can't subtract something that has happened. We can learn from what happened and then try and not create that again. Or if it's positive and we liked it, we could create it again. If you get what I mean. I think beauty in itself is light. And I've met many people that are not conventionally beautiful in the physical sense of like a standard beauty structure, which is kind of very European based. I kind of grew up, coming into the early 2000s where being very thin was considered beauty, and starving myself, that level of thought was very much a part of growing up. And I think most people have kind of done that as well, being body conscious, what's trending. I think back in the time from my experience in the early 2000s, it was when kind of pre-social media, and there was no Facebook, no Instagram, but there was a MySpace, and that was a way where people could post pictures of themselves and kind of build this online character, I guess, that you could project out into the world, and people would basically rate you in a way. And it was kind of like the idea of beauty, or the idea of building a character, could be marketable. And from there, it just kind of grew to where it is now, where it's like you can capitalize on making yourself into a product that can be consumed by the gaze. We see this particularly with women in Fans Only, and men, of course, as well, is that you can commodify yourself, just cash in, film yourself, and someone will pay. Back in the day, that used to happen in the red light district, where a little kind of peep show, the curtain would open, and you would put money into a slot, and then after a period of time of viewing, you're watching someone stand there and take their clothes off, the curtain would close. In a modern world, we see that that's now all accessible through a phone, and anyone can do this in their bedroom. One of the things that comes up for me a lot in talking about beauty is value. How we value beauty. Beauty seems to transcend effort. And I'm going to share with you, if you've never heard me say this before, if you haven't heard it worded like this, I actually wrote this, I've written this down on a piece of paper, and I'm going to share it with you. Unearned value is competing with earned value. So something that no one did anything to actually put effort into acquire is now actually competing and overriding value. That someone actually took the time, due diligence, and effort, and put effort in to creating something or making something. So unearned value is competing with earned value. So if you're, for example, born with a very symmetrical face and a conventional beauty standard that you were born into just by random genetics, we know scientifically that you have a higher rate of success in life. And of course, when we look into the world, we see people that project that they seem to be happier or they seem to be healthier, and we idolize that and commodify that. Whereas someone who had to build knowledge, build effort, take the study, suffered and was ignored. Now, this is very, very painful. It's very, very triggering. I can share with you in my early 20s, as I'm growing up now, coming into my 40s now, I began to understand the power that I had in my 20s. And I still have power now, but it's not the same. It's not that it's different. It's not like it's a high value, but in commercially speaking, yes, it is. Younger people have a higher sexual marketplace value, and older people, as they age, particularly women, their SMV in society decreases. Men, on the other hand, their SMV increases as they've had time to acquire monetary gain in exchange for someone with higher SMV than them. So we see a lot of older men with younger women in sports cars. This type of thing is commodified. I can already feel people getting upset with me saying that, but it is what it is. It also ties into genetics. Obviously, the period of time a woman can have a baby, all of this all comes into play. When I was about 21 or 22, coming out to the clubs and the bars,